Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Good morning, guys. Hey, guys. What's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about how Bitcoin is on its last leg all the way up towards all-time high. I am so excited about this, and I got a real good feeling because Bitcoin is trading at $61,000. Really excited to be here with you guys today. I do apologize for the delay, but my key light decided to go out. If you guys don't know, this is the key light that has been putting about this light over here on this part of my face on me for the last 2 years. And it decided not to turn on today. But one principle of wisdom that I get to teach you with that, always carry a backup. This is an Amaranth 200D. We've got an Aperture 120D. So all I had to do is switch it out, slap it up there. We're good to go. And if I hadn't told you, you never would have known the difference and just thought that I got stuck brushing my teeth or something and I was just late. No, we're here. Got a lot to talk about, and Bitcoin is on a massive run. And while my light may have gone out, Bitcoin's light has not. It is shining brighter than ever, and it's approaching all-time high with a very minor amount of interest from the outside world. Think about that. Bitcoin has rallied nearly all the way to all-time high without very much attention from the outside world. You think I'm wrong on that? Feel free to check Google Trends. If you go over to Google Trends, you're going to find that Bitcoin is nowhere near as popular on the search engine as it was this time during the last bull market. Head on over to Google Trends and you will see it yourself. The search volume is a fifth, a tenth as much as it was during this same price action that we saw in the last bull market. And yes, we are at previous bull market levels because at today's prices, Bitcoin is trading, drum roll please, do it with me at home if you have not already. Bitcoin is at $61,000, and for a good reason. I think there might be no better day to jump up on my soapbox than today. Why is Bitcoin rallying so much? Don't worry, this isn't all just going to be ranting. We're going to do some technical analysis. We're going to talk about when we get to all-time high. We're going to talk about that scary drop that's coming at some point. And we're going to talk about how we can best take advantage and apply wisdom to this market. But first, why is Bitcoin rallying so much? Why are the American people, are the people of Earth so excited about this technology? One word, and it is the word that I will spend the rest of my life championing for my career, for my vocation, for my ministry, and that word is sovereignty. In the first chapter of the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, God had just created the world and just created mankind, and he gives us this verse. He says, and God blessed them. First of all, he loves the world. He loves the humans that he just made. He loves you. For God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten Son, that all who should believe should not perish, but have everlasting life. Who's heard that before? He created mankind. He said, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. Essentially, that means go make more of yourselves, do the thing. It's in the Bible. Do the thing, make more of yourselves, create a society, and then do this, and subdue it. What is it? It is the earth, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. You translate those two words of subdue and dominion, and they come out to mean control. They mean to have stewardship. They mean to have sovereignty and kingly authority, surrender to God, but kingly authority over this world. Friends, our countries, our nations, our peoples are sick and tired of not having sovereignty over their own finances. Have I said it enough that people understand it yet? People are tired of not being the ones in control of their money. They are tired of a far-off bureaucracy being the one that determines financial policy. They are sick of the bureaucrats running a $2 trillion a year deficit, running up the debt, growing entitlements in ways that we certainly cannot afford, and putting that burden on our children and our children's children. Whether you are a Christian or not, I love you either way, but I bet all of us can agree on this biblical principle. A good man, a good woman, leaves an inheritance to their children and their children's children. It is a good thing to store up treasures and do good things to your successors. That's what the Bible teaches, whether you're a Christian or not. I bet you believe that. And the way that we are running our world financially, from a governance standpoint, is destroying it for our children's children. And that is not what a good nation does. A good nation leaves a more prosperous nation 50 and 100 years down the line than it does now. And the Fed governors themselves are saying that the route that we are on is unsustainable and people are sick and flipping tired of it. Is it any wonder then that Bitcoin is trading at $61,000 when it is the technological solution to this principled dilemma that we have been facing for millennia? Where governments grow for their own benefit and they never give any of that power back to the people. The Americans that founded the United States of America were under less taxation than the average American is now. And for what? For what? What has it gotten us? Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of different ways that the government has done things that have helped people. You know, if anybody's ever watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail, what have the Romans... Yeah, but what have the Romans ever done for us? Roads, aqueducts, right? Security. I'm not saying the government's useless, right? But I am saying, where has a $2 trillion deficit ever gotten us? Where has the growth of a far-off bureaucracy dictating how your money is going to be inflated away and silently stolen and taxed out from under your mattress, how is that benefiting you? It's not. Can we escape fiat? No. But can we do something to diversify the risk profile so that we don't watch it all evaporate out from before our very fingers? The government has gotten so good at taxation that they have the ability to take money from you without ever laying their grubby fingers on it, and it's called inflation. You need a small amount of inflation, and this is somewhere that the cryptocurrency people can go wrong. You need a little bit of inflation to keep up with economic growth, because as the economy grows, you need to have more currency to be able to lubricate the financial systems. But when you start running beyond GDP growth, which is right around 1% to 2%, when you start running beyond that, you are plain and simply taxing people in a way that they simply can't afford. The amount of student loan debt, the average amount of student loan debt in the United States has doubled since 2000. More than doubled, from 17,000 to 38,000. 39,000. That was in 2020. It's more than doubled. The amount of credit card debt, personal debt, hugely exploded. The average cost of homes has exploded, which is great if you're investing in real estate, but not if you're a poor teacher, where your average salary has increased by about 10% in the last 25 years. It's not that the little man can't get ahead today, but it is to say that we've got to figure out a way to do it without the government's help, because, my friends, the government is never going to make you rich. If you were flat broke as a joke, they might make sure that you don't die because there's things like Medicaid, and I'm not necessarily against those things. But what I will say is the government is not going to make you rich, and they are not going to help you leave an inheritance to your children's children. They're not going to do that, because the way the government is running right now is destroying this world and this country and families for generations to come, financially speaking. And my soapbox purpose here today is to tell you that enough people are tired of it, that there is a revolution going on. That it will not continue like this. In the words of Picard, the line must be drawn this far. Right here, this far, no farther. And the way that people are drawing that line is by investing in a technology that guarantees self-sovereignty over your currency. That technology has a name, and its name is Bitcoin. Let's see how it's doing. Bitcoin is currently trading at $61,000. I'm very excited to bring that news to you today. Bitcoin, yesterday we talked about how the price target that Bitcoin was likely looking at was $61,000. We told you about how if Bitcoin did break bullish above 57.5, which we were very excited would, and you can even see it drawn here on the chart. I have not touched this chart at all this morning. This is the chart from yesterday. I've not done one thing to it. This is yesterday's chart. We talked about on yesterday's stream how this bull flag right here would likely have a breakout, and that breakout would lead us where? $61,500. As you can see, that was our price target. Where have we gone? Well, our current yearly high is $61,300. This is the exact price target that we've been calling for the last couple of days, ever since we broke bullish out of that trading channel, that bull flag. that we had been in for a multitude of days. And so now we have to ask ourselves the question, where does Bitcoin go after this? Because if Bitcoin has reached up to $61,000, then my friends, we are very close. There's a video that has been finalized editing. It's coming out into CT2A relatively soon. So sign up for CT2A if you have not already. Shout out to CT2A, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, sponsored by bloffin. Check them out down below. Over there's video coming out where I talk to you guys about the gravitational pull of resistance. And it's really funny because I shot this video about a week and a half ago when Bitcoin was down here. And basically, I made a prediction in the video, which I normally don't do because I want the videos to be timeless, but I was so sure of the prediction that I went ahead and put it in a course video. I said, by the time this video goes out in the course, and by the time you're seeing this, Bitcoin's probably already at all-time high, because once you get to the within 33% retracement of an all-time high level, boom, normally that gravitational pull kicks in and it yanks Bitcoin right all the way up to the resistance. And in the video, I say, and if you buy CT2A and sign up for it, and you see this video coming out probably later on this week, then you will see, you got a bunch of projects going on, but that video is going to be coming out soon. Then you will see, I'm like, well, go and check your chart. I've got a feeling by the time you see this, Bitcoin will have rallied to all-time high because this pattern is so concrete. Turns out that video seemed to have predictive power. Of course, it's not out yet, but the point is the video is going to be in CT2A for many years. If we look at the history of Bitcoin, whenever Bitcoin gets within a third of the all-time high, a third retracement of the all-time high, it ends up going parabolic and rallying towards the all-time high. We don't see Bitcoin break 0.786 and not just go straight to all-time high. During two bear markets ago, back in 2014, 2015, and 2016, Bitcoin rallied to 0.786. We rejected from it, but once we broke 0.786, we were back at all-time high within 3 weeks. That's where we are right now, friends. Same thing happened in the 2018-19 bear market and accumulation phase. Bitcoin rallied up to 0.786 right here. Once we broke through it, Bitcoin would rally back up to all-time high within a matter of just a few short weeks. That pattern is holding right now. We not only rallied up to 0.786 on the linear chart, the regular chart, we have broken through it. And when you do that, you generally speaking go straight to all-time high. And that is where I think we're going right now. Why? Well, there is a gravitational attraction to the all-time high when you get close to it. And as I explained in that course video, which you guys will be seeing added to CT2A relatively soon, as I explained in that video, whenever you are moving towards an all-time high and you're very close to it, or even any major level of resistance, what happens is almost like a tidal wave. You see that Bitcoin just sucks the life out of the bears, and the bears pull all of their sell orders all the way up to all-time high. When the bears pull all of their sell orders all the way up to all-time high, then there's basically no sell-side pressure, which means that the runway to all-time high gets very, very easy. The bulls are exuberant because we're so close to all-time high. The bears are in full-blown retreat because we're so close to all-time high. And so that last third gets covered very quickly. If you think about it like a... like the Second World War. There was a lot of fighting in the East between the Russians and between the Germans. By the time the Russians had actually managed to conquer what is currently modern-day Ukraine and Belarus and move on into Poland, the last third of the distance towards Berlin fell exceedingly quickly. And it's because the morale was cracked. It was broken, and good thing. But that last third is the fastest third of any kind of invasion because going through the first two-thirds cracks and shatters the morale of the defending army. And right now, the morale of the defending army of the Bears has been absolutely eviscerated, to use a word. John Doe makes a great point in chat that we've been talking about for a very long time. The GLD ETF came out in November of 2004. And when the GLD ETF came out, SPDR GLD Gold Trust came out in 04. It was November of 04, if I remember correctly. November 15th of 04. When that ETF came out, gold would go on a 7-year parabolic run. 7 years, it would move straight up and to the right. 4x'd from 50 points to 100, or from 45 points to 185 points. The Bears' morale was shattered. For 7 years, if you bet against gold, you were a fool. And all it took, I'm not showing the chart, I'm sorry, and all it took to become a success on advertising in the late 2010s was to say, check out this gold coin. It's got this cool Native American guy on it. It's got a bison on it. Who remembers those ads? Gold and silver, it's the way. You're going to become rich. It's this big thing, right? It kind of sounds a lot like the way people push crypto right now. And that's not to say that gold was necessarily a bad investment. It 4x'd. Not the Forex markets. It 4x'd, like X. I was in a coaching call yesterday, and again, all our coaching calls are completely confidential, but I do like to, sometimes I hear something funny. Someone in the coaching call said, he said, you know, it's funny, in the stock market and in other investments, we talk about 7%, 8% rate of return, IRR, initial return on investment. We talk about percentages. In crypto, we talk about X's, like not X's in Texas. We're talking about X's as in 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X. Gold for a little while there was kind of the same thing. It's, for the most part, topped out, and here 10, 15, 20 years from now, Bitcoin will probably do something similar. But for now, Bitcoin is following a very similar trajectory that gold did. So we're going to continue to talk a lot more about that, but I do want to let you guys know one thing before we continue on here, and that is that we have brought on a sponsor for the channel that I am so excited about, and they are none other than Bloffin. The reason that I want you to pay attention to Bloffin is because they are an exchange that is blowing up. They are growing aggressively. They've got so many people signing up for them. And in fact, if you were one of the first 200 people to sign up before the end of today, and you deposit any amount of money into the futures account, you will be getting $30 for free. Here's the catch. 168 people have actually already used that sign up. So there's only 32 spots left. We had like 60 people sign up yesterday, 90 people signed up the day before. Full transparency. You guys know I like to be very authentic and transparent. I just checked it. It's on my other screen. I think there's 32 spots. Sorry, 31. One just went. There are 31 spots left for that. So if you want $30 for free, sign up now, get access to an exchange that's going to absolutely blow up. And the reason for that is this. It's got a great user interface, great customer service. We know the team back there. They're really nice. They're really friendly. They really care. They want you guys to succeed. They are non-KYC. So you don't have to put your information out there to sign up and start using Bloffin. They are accessible in the United States. They use Fireblocks as a custodian. They've got copy trading, which is an awesome way to make some money if you want to dive into that without having to learn all the ins and outs of trading. You pick the right trader, and then you can put some money on that. And over here in the futures department, they've got leverage. If you use leverage, please be very careful on it. And if you'd like, I can make some content teaching about the good strategies with leverage. But they do up to 150x leverage on Bitcoin. Please, unless you are an absolute expert, do not use 150x leverage. But if you're trying to get started using 2, 3, 5x, this is a great exchange to do so. Again, they're exploding onto the scene, and you guys are going to be very glad that you signed up for them. So make sure you sign up today. They've got over 300 plus spot markets. And if you sign up with the link down below before the end of today, and if you're one of the first 200, then you will be getting access to Bloffin and $30 for free. All right, let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to continue moving on here. Grumpy Jenkins has heard the song because all his exes live in Texas. I'm very blessed. I don't have any exes. I was single until I met my wife, and I love her so much. She is awesome. Bless the world. Absolutely. Narcotics saying what I won't. Philly Skills 1422, use a VPN. I am all for being self-sovereign over your identity. By the way, fun lead-in. This show is also brought to you by none other than NordVPN. If you sign up with NordVPN using the link down below, and you're having problems getting on an exchange, I'm not going to put 2 and 2 together, but you can put 2 and 2 together. NordVPN is excellent at shielding yourself from all kinds of attacks, from hackers to governments to banks. They want to stop you from doing whatever it is that you have decided sovereignly that you're going to do. Please be moral, but at the end of the day, if the government's overreaching, VPNs help with that. Sign up for NordVPN. Use the link down below, and you'll be getting 30% off of a 2-year plan. Protect yourself for the entire bull market. Let's read a little bit more chat, and then we will continue to move along here. All right, 62K plus right now. Yes, Bitcoin is absolutely moonshotting. We're very excited about that, and we're about to roll it back after I got off of the soapbox, run down CoinMarketCap, and talk a little bit about what's going on. Shadrach Frost said, working just as the TA said it would. Hashtag CT2A. Absolutely, guys. Sign up for CT2A if you haven't already. Very, very, very excited for all of that. Let's see. This couldn't be any more of a top signal. Yes, I mean, there is. That's what I said. There is going to be a correction at some point. There is going to be a major correction at some point. Shadrach Frost said, folks, please smash the like button right away. It takes a second and really helps the channel. Give back the love and support that Jeb brings to us on a daily basis. Thank you, friends. Hashtag FinSoft. Thank you, guys, so much for that. And welcome everyone who is new here. If you are new here, I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for over 6.5 years now. One of my favorite things to do is to teach you guys how to be in control of your finances and grow them that you may prosper. Part of that is let's see. Part of that is to and get my VPN. Yeah, Philly Skills 1428. We've got both of those tools down below. All right, let's do it. We got a lot to cover. I got a real good feeling. All right. Bitcoin currently trading at $61,000. Ethereum currently trading at $3,350. A jump forward about 10 years. You guys don't know this. I have a time machine. And I get confused sometimes because in 10 years, Ethereum will be at 35. Binance sitting at $413. Solana sitting at 112. Let me tell you something about these altcoins. They're about to moonshot. Bitcoin's going to take a break here probably around the time it hits all-time high. What's probably going to happen is going to hit all-time high. It's going to sit up there and it's going to say, should we go beyond all-time high? It's going to do that for a little while. And then what's going to happen is going to say, actually, yeah, we will go beyond all-time high. But while it's sitting there and humming and hawing, the bulls are going to get a little bit tired of that and impatient. They're going to say, all right, let's go find something more interesting to do. And they're going to buy altcoins. And Solana is going to go into a massive rally. Cardano is going to go into a massive rally. $1 Cardano is coming. $150, $200 Solana is coming. Avalanche is going to go into a major rally despite the drop, but despite the crash. Polkadot's going to continue to rally. Chainlink's going to continue to rally. Toncoin is up a lot, 21% in the last 24 hours. So exciting news for everybody holding Toncoin. ICP is probably going to do very well. Mutable X likely going to do very well as well. Cosmos is up 15% in the last 7 days. Stacks up 16% in the last 7 days. Uniswap still up 50% in the last 7 days at $11. Very excited about Uni. ETH Classic up 11%. Near Protocol up 25% over the last 7 days. These altcoins are performing very, 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 very well. But many of them are kind of boring when it compares to Bitcoin. Why? By the way, Arweave doing exceptionally well. Very excited about Arweave. I always had a feeling they were going to come back in force this bull market. Why are these altcoins going to do so well? What's the deal here? Well, part of the reason that they're going to do so well is because eventually Bitcoin is going to take a break. Bitcoin is going to either take a break right now, or it's going to run to all-time high, or it's going to do something. It's very hard to tell what exactly it's going to do next because right now the bulls are rampaging and frothing at the mouth like they got freaking rabies. I didn't know a bull could have rabies, but they're acting like it. It's kind of difficult to discern what exactly is going to happen in that drunken rage that the bulls are in right now, but the fact of the matter is that it's going to be volatile. When that volatility eventually leads to them crashing for a couple of days, then they are likely going to, those bulls are likely going to switch for a little while, and they're going to jump on the altcoins. Bitcoin has been gathering market dominance for a long time. It's currently sitting at 53.1%. Bitcoin market dominance has exploded in the last year from about 42% to 53%. Bitcoin is going to start losing market share, and its market share is going to be going to the altcoins. Where is it going to go? Well, it's first going to flow into some of these big cap altcoins like Avalanche, like Cardano, like Solana, like XRP, and they're going to go through major rallies of their own. You got to realize Bitcoin has broken its massive resistance that was set back here in January. That was 48K for Bitcoin. Solana and many of these other projects, excluding like Ethereum, haven't really done that. They're still sitting below late December, January highs. There was an altcoin season briefly there in November and December, but then the altcoin season kind of took a break for a minute. Ethereum's not really in that boat, but remember, guys, Ethereum is our big cap. Ethereum and Bitcoin move in tandem. This is what we've been teaching for months, heck, years. All right, so many of your favorite altcoins have not yet broken their December highs. Solana is a good example. Part of the reason for that is because there was an outage. Shame on you, Solana. No, not shame on you, but come on, we got to do better. Guys, if we're having outages, I dare say that I don't even know if I can consider it a blockchain. Blockchain doesn't go out. Have we forgotten the word immutable? I like Solana. I like everything it's doing, but there is a part of me, if it's going to go out, that wonders if it should just be classified as a security and the company should just trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay? I don't want to drop too much fire. I do hold some Solana, but at the same time, it's unacceptable. Same thing with Avalanche. Anyway, Cardano, by the way, has never gone out, and it is still also below its December highs. That's about to change. These markets are going to go through a major, major, major rally. And that's likely going to happen when Bitcoin takes its breather. Remember this chart. This is the Cardano chart. This is the Bitcoin chart. Do you see my point here? This is the January and December high. Cardano, Solana, they have not broken above those highs, but that's coming. That's coming soon. Bitcoin's going to take a breather, and when it does, that enthusiasm is going to jump straight into the altcoins. By the way, the stock market is also doing very well. If you haven't seen, the S&P is rallying, and so when people are seeing that their stocks are in profit, and they see that Bitcoin's in a major rally, but it has not hit all-time high yet, but the stock market has, what are they going to do? This is the SPY. This is Bitcoin over the same time. Bitcoin, despite its huge rally, is still below its all-time high. By the way, this is the linear chart. This looks like the parabolic chart. This is the linear chart. People are going to put money into Bitcoin before they put it into stocks, at least some of them, because the stock market is higher in value compared to its previous all-time high than Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is going to all-time high and is going there soon. So, how do we make the most of this? The way that we make the most of this is with a plan. It's PLAN, not the People's Liberation Army and Navy, not whatever else that may stand for. It's with a plan. Okay? It's with a plan. Jesus says that it's a fool who sets out to build a tower and doesn't count the cost, and he gets halfway up the tower and he realizes he doesn't have enough materials to build the tower, and he's stuck there with half a tower. People mock him and laugh at him and call him a fool because he didn't have a plan. We also know that investment is a biblical thing. The servants that doubled, they got a 2x on their talents, the 5 and the 10, the 5 and the 10 talents. The servants that doubled the talents were considered to be good servants. They were blessed with more. So we know that we ought to have a plan, and we know that we ought to invest. So therefore, should we not have a plan for our investments? Like, wow. I just said that. But how many of us do it? There's 852 of us in here. How many of us have some kind of plan for how we're going to invest? Or are we just winging it? Better yet, how many of us have a written plan for how we're going to invest? That is the question. If we write down a plan for our investments, it's like magic starts happening. You thought that it was magic. Oh, if you only have 15 Solana, you're going to be a millionaire. If you get 1 Bitcoin, you're going to be a millionaire. If you just do this one thing, man, this is the silver bullet to millions. If you just, you'll be a millionaire. How about if you just write a plan for how you'll invest, and then you do that, you'll make money. Farming is not that complicated. You know that? Farming is very simple. At its core, it's very simple. It's why it's one of the first professions that humanity ever figured out. You know what farming is at its core? And I am so sorry for all the farmers that I'm about to offend, but at its core, you know what farming is? It's digging a hole, planting a seed, covering the hole back up, and then watering it and making sure it's fertilized. And then you wait. You got mechanized machinery, you got mechanized agricultural equipment that helps with that. You've got all kinds of technology and internet and irrigation systems, but at its core, anybody can farm something. Dig a hole, put a seed in it, cover it up, give it water, make sure there's sunlight, make sure there's enough nutrients in the soil, your phosphate, your sulfates, and all the different fertilizers, and then the thing grows. It's relatively simple. Here's the plan for how you get a harvest. You say, we are going to, after such and such date, go out and we are going to till the land. In a sense, we're going to dig a bunch of trenches that are like a bunch of holes, and then we're going to go and we're going to scatter seeds in there, and then we're going to cover it back up. Actually, you don't, and then you cover it back up, right? And then you wait. And if it's not going to rain enough, then you throw some water on there. If it's not fertilized enough, then you put some fertilizer on there, and then you know what happens? You get plants. That's your plan. It's not complicated. This is common sense. Okay? Why do most people not succeed at farming? Because they don't follow the simple plan. It's not a complicated thing to do. Now, when you get into, it needs the right balance of fertilizers, and the seeds need to have this kind of trait, and it needs this much sunlight, it can be overwatered, underwater, I get it. There are a lot of things that can go wrong, and that's where I probably just offended all the farmers. But the general idea is you plant seeds and you let them grow. How do we become successful in crypto? We plant seeds and we let them grow, and we have a plan for how and when and where and why and how we're going to do that. Here's how and where and when and why and how you're going to do that. You want to do the following, and this is how you can become a millionaire in cryptocurrency. It's not as complicated as everybody wants to make it out to be. It is very commonsensical. Here's your first step. You say, I, or we if you're married, please do things together as a couple financially. If you're married, keyword if you're married. If you're married, do things as a couple, but if you're not, say I or we, whichever. I/we will invest X amount of our currency. If it's dollars, it's dollars. If it's CAD, it's CAD. If it's kroner, it's kroner. We will invest $250, every week or every month. I recommend every week, but you get to choose, into our cryptocurrency portfolio. Boom. Wow. All right. Well, that begs a few questions. Number one, where are you going to get the money from? Do you have a budget? Do you know how much money you can afford to put into the cryptocurrency market every single month? If you're putting $1,000 a month into the cryptocurrency market, but you're running a $3,000 a month deficit and you're funding that by running up credit card balances, then you do not have the ability to afford to invest in crypto. You got to either go make more money or spend less money. All right, so there's a personal financial component to that, but how much can you afford to put in every week? That is not going to break you. That is wise within a broader financial plan. I can help you set that up if you want. We've got financial coaching links down below. I do it almost every day. I've got a call today with one of you guys that's in chat. I won't say who, but I'm really excited to sit down and meet with you. Then you say every week. Why every week? Well, that gives you the ability to catch more drops, quite simply. I genuinely believe that who we are is comprised of the things that we do every day, every week, every month, every quarter, and every year. The things you do on a recurring basis make you who you are. So invest in crypto on a recurring basis. Now, invest in our cryptocurrency portfolio. That's the loaded question. Is what is our cryptocurrency portfolio? What is our plan? That's where you break it up into 3 components. Big cap, medium cap, small cap. Big cap is Bitcoin and ETH. Why are those in their own category? Well, if you look at Bitcoin and you look at Ethereum, those are the two that are actually breaking above their December and January highs. Why are they running together? Well, because they're the only 2 cryptocurrencies that are worth over $100 billion. They are the only 2 cryptocurrencies that have or will most likely have ETFs this year. They're the only 2 cryptocurrencies that everybody, including the SEC, has more or less agreed are commodities and not securities. And they are the 2 more or less original cryptocurrencies. You could throw Litecoin in there, but Litecoin's been overshadowed by Bitcoin, and I don't invest in it for that reason. The medium caps represent everything below Ethereum. So you're talking your Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Toncoin, Tron, all that, down to about rank 50. These are generally cryptocurrencies that were here during the last bull market, and they have stayed through the bear market, and they are continuing to develop in the current bull market. Examples of this are like VeChain, again, Cardano, Solana, Tron, etc. Then you got your small caps. Those are more or less all the projects that are new this bull market. You might call those your penny stocks if you're in the stock market space. These are projects that are likely new in this bull market, or they didn't do much in the last bull market. These are the projects that you're expecting could potentially more than 10x in the next 18 months as this bull market comes on. I recommend, but ultimately it's up to you to set the ratios. I recommend 30% of your weekly allowance going into big caps, that being Bitcoin, ETH, 40% going into medium caps. Again, in the stock market, you call these basically growth caps, growth stocks. And about 30% going into the small caps. In this case, we would call those like penny stocks. What you're going to do there is that about 70% of your portfolio between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the medium caps is going to be in projects that are probably going to 3 to 5x. It is my philosophy that I'm not real interested in getting crazy rich in the next year. I am interested in employing practices that are wise, that will lead me in right paths for the next 40. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Let me say it again. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you've got the skills to pick the right altcoin that you think will 100x and it doesn't, and you get wealthy, then good for you. Awesome. And if you know how to do that, I fully encourage you to go do it. That being said, we want to employ practices that are risky. Any investment is risky, but not so risky that every couple of years you get wiped out. If you're in construction, then you will be aware of, and if you're a homeowner, you'll be aware of something called a flood chart. And the way that that works is on like the 1-year flood and the 2-year flood and the 5-year flood and the 10-year flood and the 100-year flood and the 1,000-year flood. Especially if you're working in dams, you've got the same kind of idea. And that is essentially what is the odds that a flood of this size is going to happen within the next 50 years. I want you to work on a risk basis where in all likelihood, there's a greater chance than not that you're not going to be completely wiped out in the rest of your life. You can do that and still make 3 to 5x or more in this coming bull market. If you have the skills to go and find 100x altcoins, then great, and do it. And that's why I say 30% into that small cap portfolio. I think everybody at least ought to hold 1 or 2 of those little moon bags that they think, man, this thing could 10x, it could 15x, it could 20x, it could 25x, 50x, 100x in the coming bull market. But my friends, it's not about getting rich in the next year. It is about employing principles that will make you successful with money for the duration of your life. And that can still make you hundreds of thousands of dollars on a regular salary in this bull market if you start now. Bitcoin will likely still 3x from here. $60,000, it will still more than likely go to $180,000. That is a 3x. Sorry, it's a 3x from where we are right now. Ethereum is likely going to go to 10,000, at least 8,000. That's still a 3x from where we are right now. I've been saying the big caps are going to 3 to 5x. Now we're getting kind of into the 3x territory. Many of these medium caps, they've not moved yet, so load up on them. Plant the seeds. It's not complicated. Here's your formula. Step 1. I/we, if we're married, only if we're married, we will invest X amount of dollars, or CAD, or kroner, or pounds, or euros, or whatever, every week, every 2 weeks, every month. Hopefully it's every week, but it doesn't have to be. every week on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Be as specific as you can into our cryptocurrency portfolio, and then at the end of that sentence, say on Coinbase, on KuCoin, on bloffin, on Kraken, or on Coinbase, Kraken, bloffin, and KuCoin. All at the same, like whatever the exchanges, define the exchanges you're going to use there so you have the architecture figured out. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. So please plan so you can plan to succeed. Then step 2 is defining what the ratios are going to be inside of those altcoin investments. Are you going to put 30% into big caps? Are you going to be more risk averse? You're like, listen, I got 300 grand of capital to put in. I'm okay with a 3x. I don't want to lose all this money. I'm going to put 60% into Bitcoin. Or maybe you're like some of our viewers. I'm looking at you, Pew Poo Poom too, and you guys are really good at picking small cap altcoins. You're like, man, I'm going to play it risky. I'm all right. I'm going to put 60% into the small caps. And I'm gonna roll those dice. That's fine. Just be wise with it. Make sure you are being intentional about your decisions. Have a plan. Be intentional about why you're doing it. And one of the other principles I want to tell you is that look well into the way of your going. The Bible says that a wise man looks well into the way of his going. Whether you're a Christian or not, I'm sure that you can see the ration in that. If you've got a flock of 100 sheep, a good shepherd tends well to his flock. A good cryptocurrency investor tends well to his flock. He knows the state of his flock, the Bible says, about a shepherd with his flock of sheep or goats. A wise cryptocurrency investor knows the state of their flock of coins. If half of your investment is in Bitcoin, then what are you doing to stay on top of the happenings in Bitcoin? If 50% of your investment is in VeChain, then what are you doing to stay on top of being informed on your investment in VeChain? Do you see my point here? Don't invest in things you don't understand. When you accrue knowledge, then you unlock understanding. And it is by understanding that you have the ability to be wise. And the fruit of wisdom is untold honor and riches. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. All her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is every one that retaineth her. You know what that is? That is Proverbs chapter 3, verse, I think it is 13 through 16. You can correct me on that. And that is speaking of wisdom. When you accrue knowledge, then you have the ability to be understanding. And when you have understanding and knowledge, you have the ability to be wise. And I just told you the fruit of wisdom. It is better than silver. It is better than gold. It is better than Bitcoin. It is better than rubies. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, with all thy getting, get wisdom. Get understanding, forget it not. When you apply wisdom to your cryptocurrency portfolio by doing the things that I am telling you to do, you put the odds in your favor to succeed, not only in this bull market, but in every bull market to come. I'm not interested in you getting rich in this bull market, and then because you did not have a plan and you did not follow wisdom, either you didn't know how to cash out and when to cash out, or you lost all of it to a hacker, or you ended up getting rich in this bull market, but you lose it all in the next bull market. I'm not interested in you making money for the next year and living this lavish lifestyle and then going bankrupt. I'm interested in you having a prosperous life and honoring God with your finances and being able to be radically generous and do fun things and continue to invest. 3 of the biggest things you can do with money. I'm interested in you being a good steward and being sovereign over your finances for the rest of your life. And that means being okay with the following. It is not always going to be easy. Oftentimes it will be hard. It is not always going to be quick. Oftentimes it is going to take time. But what I will tell you is that wisdom, because it is wisdom, is at its core relatively simple. You do these 6 following things with money and you will be successful, and all of them apply to your cryptocurrency portfolio. First and foremost, at the nexus, because all 5 tie back into it, you become financially sovereign. You get control over your finances, lest they control you. As you probably know, if you are not growing, you're shrinking. That's how it works in business. That's how it works in finances. We live in an inflationary world and culture where if you are not growing your wealth, you are likely losing it to inflation, to leeches, to frivolous expenses, to debt payments, to interest, whatever it may be. You become self-sovereign over your currency, and that'll allow you to do the next 5 things that will make you successful in money, almost guaranteed. First and foremost, you have a written plan. You must have a plan or you plan to fail. Number 2, you must avoid debt as much as possible. Debt is not sin and there is a time to use it, but you must avoid debt as much as possible. Number 3, you must be very generous, because all of this is for the purpose of being generous, because when we lend unto the Lord, when we lend unto the poor, we lend unto the Lord, and he smiles on that. Number 4, we must invest. We must save and invest and build our wealth, again, that we may move in the right direction. And number 5, we must always live below our means. Those are the 6 things. I'll repeat them. Financial sovereignty is at its core, and the 5 things that we can do to be financially sovereign is we can have a plan, we can work towards being out of debt and try and avoid it as much as we possibly can, we can live on less than we make, we can live within our means, we can invest and grow our wealth, and we can be radically generous with that money. If we do those 6 things, those 5 things, and then financial sovereignty at its core, if we do those things in cryptocurrency or in any facet of life, we will be successful with money. I can virtually guarantee you with that. Now listen, if a meteor hits your house and the home insurance company goes bankrupt on the same day, then I'm sorry, life sucks. Things happen, and righteous people go broke all the time. But generally speaking, it's not necessarily a promise, but it is an extremely high probability. If you do those things, then you'll be successful. And you can do all of those in crypto. You can do all of those in crypto. You can write a plan, that's part of it, for how to invest in crypto. That's a second part of it. That avoids debt. That's a third part of it. You can invest on less than you are willing to lose. That's a fourth part of it. And you can use that investment to be radically generous. And you can do all 5 of those things in a financially sovereign way. By the way, all 5 of those things are the paths to financial sovereignty. And your investments will be a sovereign investment. You will be in control of them, which is in principled alignment with Bitcoin, because part of the reason that Bitcoin was founded in the first place was so that we would be sovereign over our own currencies and over our own financial and monetary systems. That's how you succeed in crypto. And that is the key to how you succeed in life when it comes to finances. It is, again, not always going to be easy. And it is, again, not always going to be quick. But I am not here to preach get rich quick to you. I am here to preach build wealth for the rest of your life and be radically generous with it. And you must accrue wisdom to be able to do that, because planting the seed of wisdom is one of the greatest seeds that you will ever plant. The Bible says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing. The principal thing. Because when you plant wisdom in the ground, the fruit thereof is beautiful. And if you do these things in crypto, I gave you the practical, I gave you the principle, I gave you the biblical. All of them together, you will be successful. Most likely. Nothing is promised, not even tomorrow. But you will have the greatest likelihood of being successful in the long run and in eternity than anyone else, following any other principle, following any other method. Because your entire life will be blessed for it. All right. Let's read some chat. All right. Let's read some chat. Hardest part of selling? Yeah, it is. I do recommend starting to take some profits a little while after all-time high. Not all of them. But take something. You're going to be glad you did. I know so many people, I've done this myself, that did not take profits at the top, last bull market, and they're kicking themselves. Take some profits. Don't take all of it. But you can flip the switch, and then you start, taking out. The firmament showeth his handiwork. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens, by his understanding by understanding hath he established the heavens, by his knowledge the depths are broken up and the clouds drop down the dew. Jeb, you should look into the Orthodox Church. Your zeal is commendable. What part of the Orthodox Church? I'm actually about to have lunch with a Presbyterian pastor that is a viewer of the channel. He's probably watching, so shout out to you, Joel. Ran into him at an Aldi parking lot. Got to meet him and his daughter, so shout out to Joel. He was watching yesterday's stream because as soon as we wrapped out, he texted me. So shout out to him. Max P said, powerful words. Patrick Power said, bless you, Jeb. I do appreciate it, guys. All glory to God, because these are his principles, not mine. If I were to claim them as my own, then I would be bastardizing the word. These are his principles. And I want you to glorify the Father who wrote them, not me, for I am simply his spokesperson. So we broke the last resistance. Are we officially in bull market? Adrian 12-1 said, absolutely. We have seen pretty much all of the resistance before we get to all-time high broken. That is true. That is true. The firmament showeth his handiwork. Yep. And by the way, guys, please make sure, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Please make sure that you sign up for bloffin before the end of today, because there are 15 spots available. The first 200 people that sign up will be getting access to $30 for free by depositing money into their futures account. We've had 185 direct signups. Don't believe me? I don't lie. There it is. Boom. I'll show you the back end. 185 of you have signed up. I tell the truth. I'm very transparent. I'm not ashamed because I earn money in an honest way. The fact of the matter is that if you sign up for bloffin, you will be getting access to $30 for free when you deposit money into your futures account. There's 15 spots available. 185 of you have signed up. I just showed you it. There's the proof in the pudding. All right? Sign up. You'll be getting $30 for free. You'll help to support the channel so that we can grow what we are doing here, the ministry that we are trying to build here of teaching you guys about how to be successful with finances. And you'll also be getting access to an awesome exchange with everything that you need. If you're doing spot, they've got over 300 markets. If you're worried about security, they're secured by Fireblocks. If you're worried about privacy, they are non-KYC. If you want to try trading, but you've never done it before, but you still want to earn the rewards of it, they've got copy trading. If you are an expert and you know what you're doing and you want to use leverage, they do have leverage. Leverage is a form of debt. And so please be very careful with it. But if you're going to do it anyway, bloffin is, in my opinion, one of the best exchanges to do it on for all of the reasons mentioned before. So feel free to sign up for bloffin with the link in the description box down below. There's only 15 of those spots available. 14. Someone just signed up. So make sure that you sign up if you have not already. Let's continue to read chat before we wrap it out here. 12B Panda said, I've been watching Jeb since before he showed his face. Keep going. Thank you very much for that, 12B Panda. I showed my face on the second birthday of the channel. The channel is... I keep getting confused. I feel like an old married man. 5.5 years old. Right, no, we'll be 6 years old this November. So that was 3.5 years ago that we did the face reveal. Long time ago, but also not that long ago. It's kind of crazy how fast and how long things seem to take. Let's see. Oh, and the one thing I did want to mention is that at some point, guys, there's going to be a big retracement. The bulls and the bears are so volatile. They're so wild right now. It's difficult to tell exactly when that's going to happen. But at some point, there's going to be a big crash. At some point, there's going to be a massive correction. 10, 15, 20%, $10,000s of dollars. If you're in a leverage long at that point, you might get caught with your pants down. So please be very careful. If you're longing Bitcoin right now and you're using leverage, please be very careful because you're probably going to get caught with your pants down. Eventually, there's going to be a drop. If you enter a trade on spot and it turns against you, then all you have to do is roll it over into your investment portfolio and consider it part of your investment. But if you're in a leverage trade, you don't have the ability to do that because if it's at a loss, then you can't just close. Then you can't just move the whole position over to your portfolio. So please be careful with leverage. If you're going to use leverage, bloffin's a great place to do it, but please be careful with it. And if you're in a spot trade, spot long on Bitcoin, and it goes sideways and Bitcoin drops 10 grand, then all you do, you just move it over into your investment portfolio and then boom, you're fine. You just hold on to it for a year and it'll be worth more. But in the short term, please be careful because a big drop will be coming at some point. I can't tell you when. The charts right now are so... it's very difficult to tell you exactly when that drop is going to happen, but at some point, there's probably going to be a big drop. I've been flip-flopping on ATH and 30K. Come on, man, make up your mind. I've been saying for 6 months that Bitcoin was going to all-time high within 2 months, plus or minus the halving. That is exactly when we're going to be there. And by the way, in March of last year, we predicted that Bitcoin would be trading at $35,000 to $50,000 by the end of 2023. I can show you the chart, and there's a video on the channel. It's called A Clock Will Send Bitcoin to $50,000. If you want to see it. That chart is, still have it, I think, right here. This is the chart we drew in March of last year. This is our prediction. We made this prediction over here. The Bitcoin would go here at this exact time, hence the box. That's what we did. Around the time that we realized that we were going to hit that, we updated our prediction in another video that we uploaded not long ago. And yeah, we've talked about drops, and yeah, Bitcoin hasn't dropped quite as far as we've said a few times. But that was our original prediction that stood for a year. After that, we made another prediction. I will show you that prediction too. Let's find it here. This video right here. Why Bitcoin will reach $100,000 on this exact date in 2024. And I outline the date that we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin. If you guys want to go and see that video, you can. In that video, we denoted that we would expect to see Bitcoin. I think I deleted this chart, unfortunately. Yeah, I did. But we outlined in that video, you can go back and see it, that we expect to see $100,000 Bitcoin in late quarter 3, early quarter 4 of 2024. In that video, we also talked about how Bitcoin will likely go back to all-time high right around the halving, which is what we're doing. So yeah, we've talked about drops, and what you may be referencing is we talked about how a 30K Bitcoin could happen. That's not exactly the case. We said that there are 3 levels we're looking at, $32,500, $35,000, and $38,000. Bitcoin's likely going to go to one of those. 35K is probably the most likely. But we also outlined $38,000 as a level. We dropped to $38,000. We had 3 levels on that drop. We hit the top one. As far as the $48,000 to $50,000 prediction, we said Bitcoin will probably go to between $48,000 and $50,500. Bitcoin went to $50,500. Both of those times, we gave 2 and 3 different levels, and we hit the top of the prediction both times. So, guys, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I do think we've done a pretty good job of leading you guys in the right direction if you listen to the totality of what we're saying. All right. Verhoofdeflufen said, Jeb, will you sell and take profits? Not yet, but it's coming. But it is coming. Too much shouting at people. I'm out. Sorry. I'm not shouting at any of you guys. I am very impassioned, but I'm definitely not angry at any of you. All right. 8 is the best built, most decentralized. I agree. Just went 5x on Cardano, head and shoulders on 8 hour. Nice. All right. I wish Bitcoin's market structure was more like 2017. Yeah, I assume you're talking about more kind of like parabolic. Let's see. Jeb's sticking hard today. Blessings, fam. Petro, cars, and crypto. Good to see you. I got wrecked 13K in a short. Oh, no. No. JJ, I'm so sorry for you, buddy. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. They're going to probably hurt, but they're intended to help. Do you have a budget for your personal finances? Does that budget outline how much money you are in profit every month after your basic expenses are covered? That's called your discretionary budget. You need to split up the discretionary budget into the wants, into the wealth generation, and into the generosity. Those are the 3 things you can do with money other than covering basic needs. There's nothing else you can do with money. You cover your basic needs. Those are called mandatory expenses. Your income minus your mandatory gives you a discretionary. Your discretionary funds can only be spent on 3 things. You can enjoy it, you can build wealth with it, or you can be generous with it. You think of something else you can do with money other than those things and mandatory expenses, fixed expenses like groceries and all that. And I'll tell you that I'm wrong. But those are the 3 basic things you can do with money. In that part of the budget, figure out how much money. Again, this has to come out of the profit. We're investing out of the abundance, not out of debt. I know people that invest with credit card debt or mortgages. Let me just give a 6-letter word for that. I love you, but that is stupid. That is dumb. That is a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. How much money are you able to invest if it is coming out of the profit? Right, if you're making $7,000 a month and you are mandatorily spending $8,000 a month, there is no profit. There is not a discretionary budget, which means you don't get to spend money on wants, you don't get to build wealth, and you don't get to be generous. Unless you want to do a little bit of generosity because you're trying to tithe. I understand that. If you're making $7,000 a month take home and you've got a $4,000 a month of basic expenses, then you got $3,000 discretionary. For simplicity, say $1,000 goes to each, $1,000 want, $1,000 wealth generation, $1,000 for generosity. Great. Now you got $1,000 you're going to wealth generate with. Do you have a savings? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have some money going into a retirement account? Because one day you're going to be too old to work. One day I'm going to be too old to work. I'll tell you what, I don't want to work past 65 for the sake of making money. I want to work past the age of 65 for the sake of being generous, and I'll probably work until the day I die because I want to help people. But I don't want to be doing it because I got to make ends meet. You ought to be able to rest from that by the time you hit 65, 67, 70, whatever the age you'll retire in. After you've got that wealth generation fund, and some of it is going to making sure you have a emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, fully funded, and you are out of all consumer debt, and you are and you have investments, at least something going into a retirement account. Maybe it's $100 a month. I don't know. Then out of that abundance, you have money to put into crypto. From there, are you investing in big cap, medium cap, small caps? From there, have you learned how to trade without leverage? From there, after you mastered trading without leverage, and you've done all of that, then you do leverage trading. If you have skipped a single one of those steps, then you do not have business using leverage. If you have mastered every single one of those steps and you want to go into the next level and say, I'm going to play with leverage, then okay, please be careful. Unless you've done all those things, all of them, every one of them, stay away from leverage. Stay away from them. You make money and you keep money. That's how you make money. Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. Never seen the show, but yeah, that's about the long and short of it. All right, guys, we are going to have to wrap it out. If you have not already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all of you tuning in. We've got another, let's see, 11 spaces in that first 200 to sign up for bloffin. So if you sign up for bloffin, you're going to go ahead and make a bunch of money. So go ahead and sign up for bloffin. If you're going to do some leverage trading, then do some leverage trading. But please be very, very careful. There are 11 spots left. There are 11 spots left to get into bloffin and get $30 for free. So go ahead and sign up right now. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys be successful. Please be very careful. If you've not already, make sure to sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. And also make sure to check out all of the other affiliate links down there. Sign up for CT2A. I love you guys. Really looking forward to seeing all of you succeed. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good